evening and welcome to BCND, the news station that teaches you about diseases that you might not have heard of before. I'm Montana.
And I'm Rachel.
And tonight we have a very exciting program for you. We're going to learn about the disease of cerebral palsy. We even have a very exciting interview with our star witness, Kate. But before we get into that interview, we should probably learn a little bit more about what cerebral palsy is and the pathophysiology of it. Rachel, would you like to tell us about that?
I would love to. So cerebral palsy, or as it's commonly known, CP, is a group of disorders that affects a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture. CP is the most common motor disability in childhood. Cerebral means having to do with the brain, and palsy means weakness or problems while using the muscles. So CP is caused by abnormal brain development or damage to the developing brain that affects a person's ability to control his or her muscles. So scientists used to think that CP was mainly caused by lack of oxygen during the birth process. However, scientists have now realized that this only causes a small number of CP cases. The brain damage that leads to CP can actually happen before birth, during birth, in the first month of life, or even in the first couple of years, anytime while the child's brain is still developing. This is called congenital CP. The majority of CP cases, 85% to 90%, are congenital. In many cases, the specific cause is not exactly known. So why do some children develop CP and others don't? To learn about this, we're going to go to our risk factor correspondent, Luke.
Thanks, Rachel. Some risk factors that can cause cerebral palsy are maternal health, infant illness, and other factors during pregnancy and birth. In maternal health, the mother can have infections or toxic exposures during pregnancy, such as cytomegalovirus, rubella, herpes, syphilis, toxoplasmosis, Zika virus, other conditions such as thyroid problems, seizures, and exposure to toxins. Some examples of infant illnesses are bacterial meningitis, viral encephalitis, severe or untreated jaundice, bleeding into the brain. Some other risks of pregnancy and births are breech birth. A breech birth is when the baby comes out feet first instead of head first. Low birth weight, multiple babies such as twins or triplets, and premature birth.
And a big thank you to our risk factor correspondent, Luke.
Now we're going to take a look at our interview with our star witness, Kate, as she tells us a little bit about how she got cerebral palsy.
Hi there, I'm MJ Lewis with BCND, and I'm here with our star interview, Kate.
Hi guys, what's up?
We're so glad you're here, Kate. It's an honor to have you on our show.
It's my pleasure.
So I just want to ask you what college you go to.
I go to Benedictine
Okay.
College.
And how's it going for you?
It's going really great.
Okay, and what are you studying here?
English and education.
Love English, love education. Sis, go on. Okay, Kate, so the first question we want to ask you is how you specifically developed cerebral palsy.
Well, it's quite a story. Basically, when my sister was born via C-section, she caused some scarring on my mom's uterus, and when I got out, I was really eager, and I tore my mom's uterus open, which caused lack of blood and oxygen, and caused little white cysts to form on my brain, and it caused difficulty between the nerves and my muscles communicating right. So that's why I'm sitting instead of standing right now.
Well,
yes.
You were so excited to come out. You were like, I'm gonna come out any way I can.
Exactly.
I gotta come out and like say hi. I'm here. I'm alive.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. And now Montana's going to talk about some of the signs and symptoms of cerebral palsy.
Yes. Some of the ways that CP can manifest in patients are variations in muscle tone, such as either being too stiff or too floppy, stiff muscles and exaggerated reflexes, which is known as spasticity, stiff muscles with normal reflexes, which is known as rigidity, tremors or involuntary movements, delays in reaching motor milestones, such as crawling or walking, lack of balance and motor coordination, also known as ataxia, excessive drooling or problems with swallowing, or difficulty with sucking or eating, which is known as dysphagia. There's also the other type of dysphagia present in this disease, and that is delays in speech development or difficulty speaking. They also might have learning difficulties or difficulties with fine motor skills, such as buttoning clothes or picking up utensils.
Thank you, Montana. Now that we've learned about how CP can manifest, let's talk about how it may affect the day-to-day living of an individual. Here to talk about this is our other correspondent, MJ.
Now we're going to be talking about some of the effects of cerebral palsy. An individual with cerebral palsy will experience stiffness, muscle weakness, and spasms, which will lead to the individual being bound to a wheelchair. Second, they will experience epilepsy along with seizures. And then eyesight is a huge common effect of CP. So the most common problem is with squinting, which will lead them to needing glasses or in severe cases surgery. Some children may have cortical vision defects, which means that the part of the brain that's responsible for understanding the images the child sees is not functioning properly. And when their eyes are examined, they may appear healthy, but there's actually an underlying problem. Children will also likely to have hearing problems, and learning difficulties is another effect. Some children with cerebral palsy cannot perceive space in relation to their own bodies, which means they have trouble judging distance. And this is due to an abnormality of the brain. Speech problems is also another effect, and difficulties chewing and swallowing. So you might need to assist the child with feeding so that they don't aspirate. And lastly, most people with cerebral palsy learn from visual communication, and technology, technology and phones and even an Apple Watch can really help them.
Thank you, MJ. And now, MJ is going to take us live into the field to interview our friend Kate, who's going to talk to us about her experience living on a college campus with CP.
Alright, Kate, so the second question we have for you today is what did your journey look like for you to get here to BC?
Well, that is an incredible question. And
Of course, I'm the one that asked it.
Yeah, obviously. Excuse me for mistaking anything else.
Please.
So, my journey here was actually quite difficult. When I was in 7th grade and I found out about Benedictine, I thought it was this beautiful Catholic Disney World, which it is. But I did not think it was possible for me to come here because of accessibility reasons. And then Mother Mary swooped down in a moment of divine intervention and said, Kate, you gotta go check this school out. So I did, and I immediately fell in love.
As one should.
But that's not to say that it wasn't difficult. I had to have a meeting with Dean Wirtz and the residence life department when I was a junior, and we figured everything out. We adapted my dorm. See, there's a little handicap button right there. And I also had to reach out to the Benedictine College nursing department, and I had to find caregivers. So that was a difficult process too, but it all fell into place, and I'm super happy to be here.
Okay, the third question we have is, was it intimidating for you to be living independently now on your own in college?
I mean, I wish I could tell you a soul surfer moment and say no, but the truth is I was so ready for the independent living transition that I was just thriving right away. That's not to say that it didn't come from with a little bit of hiccups here and there, with the shower. We really had to figure that out at first. But the transition has really been difficult academically, I would say, in figuring out how to do stuff, because I had a one-on-one Tara for my entire school career, so learning how to adjust academically has been kind of tough. I've had to adjust my expectations a little bit, but as far as independent living goes and tasks such as those getting food and water, there's always someone around and I'm always ready for it. So that part wasn't as difficult.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. You obviously are thriving. You've made so many friends. Your Instagram is popping sis, hello.
Yes, absolutely. Follow me on Instagram at KATECAILTEUX. That's KATECAILTEUX. TEUX.
So Kate, now I'm gonna ask you, what accommodations did you have to make in order to make this transition smooth?
Well, we actually had to make quite a few and install the handicap button so the door can open on its own for me and I can get into the dorm by myself. On the outside, there's actually it on the key swipe switch. It is automatic on the outside as well. We had to remove a lip in the shower in order to get my shower chair over. We had to get a letter of medical necessity for custom-made furniture to be moved in here. That's why my furniture is so much nicer than regular dorm furniture. It's custom made. We had to talk to one of our friends who's a carpenter, and he made it specially for me and measured my chair and everything, and it was really sweet. So
We love that. Just period.
yes.
It's gonna demonstrate and show us how we use a sling and the Hoyer's lift.
Okay, so this is the sling and the Hoyer lift. Fancy looking, I know. We use it to get me in and out of bed for chair to bed transfers and also to get me on my shower chair.
Thank you so much, Kate, for being here. This has truly been such a pleasure having you on our show, and I'm so glad that you're here on campus. It would not be the same without you.
I'm glad to be here, and honestly, yes, it has been your pleasure, because I'm a queen.
You are a queen. Yes, queen! Okay, and we're going to send it back to Montana and Rachel. Bye, everyone.
Wow, it's incredible to see the hard work that Kate put in to live independently on campus this semester. Thank you for sharing your experience, Kate.
Yes. Thank you, Kate, and thank you for joining us tonight. A special thank you goes out to our correspondents, MJ and Luke.
I'm Luke, signing off.
I'm MJ, also signing off.
This has been BCND. I'm Montana.
And I'm Rachel.
Have a good night.